When in 1930s and 1940s, the idea of genetics, DNA, and different molecular structure came into being. So everyone started knowing and studying about molecular aspects of development, the genetics. Then these idea came in. Now after production of model of Watson and Crick, that is the DNA model, many scientists established the idea with DNA and genes being the inheritatory characters or the characters of inheritance. So later on, Ronald Fisher, Halden, and Wright gave out this idea that all the characters that change over a population are based on genetics or the genes. So there is genetic level changes that happens, and these characters change over time with respect to evolution and genetical basis. Next, Ernst Mayr and George L. Stebbins initiated the idea of synthetic theory. So they formulated the idea that evolution isn't just about in characters or the characters that we see. So there is also evolution of genetical information happening. Apart from that, there is mutation. There are other ideas. They all function together. So these are not different ideas, but they all provide a structural framework of evolution, which are revolutionized, which was revolutionized by Theodosius Dobzhansky and Bernard Rensch. So they actually, pre-formatted and formulated all these ideas together and established as modern evolutionary synthetic evolutionary theory. Okay, and this was again added later on. It was added about the neutral theory of molecular evolution by Moto Kimura. We'll study that in detail in evolutionary molecular biology, or molecular evolution that we talk about. But neutral theory states that few of the characters that remain neutral are also selected. I mean, not characters which are beneficial are selected, not which are not beneficial not selected, but there are also many characters that are neutral and even they pass on. So the main idea of survival of the fittest is wrong. So you have to understand that the main idea of survival of the fittest is wrong. Darwin actually never said that the survival of the fittest happens. Now this is a philosophical thing. Okay, this is not evolutionary things. Survival of the fittest means only the fittest survive. Only the first category of, let's say, 50 individuals are racing together. So that means only the 5 of them who were the fittest or the first survived. That is not actually the case. Darwinian idea was when 50 of them raced together, the 5 of them which came last, they died off and the 45 survived. Okay, so that's what Darwinian idea is. Whereas survival of the fittest states that only 5 of them survived and 45 of them died, which is not the case actually, right? Because among them, even the characters who have averagely formed, not all the fittest only are good ones. The organisms which have even averagely formed their characters, even they survive. Even those which have neutrally not changed anything, some of them might survive as well, according to molecular evolutionary theory of Moto Kimura, which we will study in detail to understand that. But few organisms which were not actually capable to withstand the changing environmental condition died off. That is the Darwinian idea, not the survival of the fittest. So survival of the fittest is wrong, right? So this is not the Darwinian idea. This is not the Darwinian idea. So you shouldn't depend on the idea that survival of the fittest is a part of Darwinian evolutionary theory. Okay, as you see all the examples, even all the examples that we see in real life, none of the first benchers that we see have grown to be entirely successful and left out all the backbenchers. Everyone in the system, or every person that we see, have some or the other way established themselves across the plane. Okay, those students who couldn't actually compete with that of the changing trends, even if they have achieved good marks, didn't survive or didn't achieve well. So it doesn't matter what marks you achieve and how much you achieve. The thing is, if you can compete with that of the regular trends, then you are going to survive. That's what evolution says. That's what natural selection, Darwinian theory is all about. There is no survival of the fittest. This is not an entire competition that you have to win and only the winners survive. That's not the case. There are many times when winner actually couldn't cope up to the changing trends and they got down. Like many reality shows that you see, or not all the winners have made good names. Many of the average individuals who dropped out have actually made good name. So yeah, so these kind of ideas, these kind of theories are confusing with regard to many people give many different ideas, and many different ideas together form this synthetic structure, right? Okay, so understanding all of this, there comes modern synthetic theory. Now that is the theory right now which we actually study and which we establish as evolutionary idea. So the modern synthetic theory states that evolution is a gradual process of accumulation of change. Okay, evolution is a gradual process of accumulation of change. Okay, which is reflected by changes in genetic constitution. The changes that is happening over time is not morphological, like Lamarck said. So the changes that happens right now are changes with respect to the genetic constitution of the species, and that result in variation. The variation that we saw in frogs, okay, as well as hair color and seeing. So these are small changes of variation, or small changes of genetic composition that happens in a population. So these changes should be inherited, and these inherited changes, if selected, leads to development of certain characters. Only those characters which are inherited over time become certain character, and these character, if they makes the individual fit to survive and able to reproduce them, then these changes will be adapted, and these changes will give in the rise of evolution, and these changes will evolve over time. Okay, so that's what modern synthetic theory states about. That is, evolution is a gradual process of accumulation of change, and these changes are genetic in structure that results in variation. If the variation leads to ability of the individuals to survive and reproduce, then those character will be inherited across different generations, and these will establish. Even those changes are dynamic. Okay, even if this character are selected, these changes are dynamic and subject to adaptation. If the environmental condition change, then these changes should also change across time, okay, or the regarding conditions. So if they don't change across time period, across the condition changing over time, then they will go extinct as well. So all these characters, all the accumulation of change and the genetic variation that happens should also change with respect to time. I mean, okay, to understand this synthetic theory, let's go back to the idea of industrial melanism and moths. You know, peppered moth, which peppered moth, which gives the basic idea of natural selection and all. So we have studied that a long time, and we have studied that many times actually, where the different morphs of peppered moths, one was dark and one was light morph. The thing is, nowadays what has happened, that dark morphs have survived over light morphs. Okay, light morphs have gone low in number, whereas dark morphs have survived because of the formation of soot or industrial soot, or the industrial black layers on over the trees, right, and predation. So yeah, that is one of the example to understand how different evolutionary idea works around. So yeah, let's start from the beginning. So let's say in a region of trees there were 100 moths found, okay, and all of them were light colored. Now when industrialization happened and there was a formation of soots, one of them mutated or two of them mutated. Okay, so there were 98 light morphs and 2 dark morphs. So what will happen is many of them will be eaten by predators. So light morphs will be eaten by predators, right? So only these 2 dark morphs and few of the light morphs. So not all of the light morphs will be eaten. Let's say 40 of them survived, or 48 of them survived, and 2 dark morphs survived. So in the next generation, what will happen is there will be a preference for that of the dark morph because they survived, right? So there will be a preference for that of the dark morph. So in the next generation, we'll see that many of the females of the light morph mated with that of the dark morph, and hence there are now 12 dark morphs, whereas there are 48 light morphs right now. Okay, there are the population. Okay, they have been not, but they again face the predator. Okay, and hence now 28 of them eaten. So now only 20 light morphs are there, and now there are more dark morphs because they mated again, and there are now 40 dark morphs. So this is how evolution changed and evolution happens, because in the next generations, those character will be established and will come out prominently, which are according to the changing environmental characters, which have more survivability and which make the individual fit. So it doesn't matter how much of the number is there, but the thing is, if the character makes the individual survival, if it makes the individuals fit for its survival, then it will be selected. So if again something like that happens and the industrial suit is removed, then light morphs will be preferred. Okay, so again if the situation changes, then the next kind of situation, the next kind of morph will be preferred. So it is dynamic, it's not fixed. So both of the morph, you can actually find both of the morph. It's not that you actually only find dark morphs. Like if you go through the Lamarck's idea, then that have been said that all morphs equally evolved, okay, over time, acquired that character and evolved. But Darwinian says that there is variation that happens, okay, that is variation, and among that multiple variations, one is selected. So among multiple variants like variation 1, variation 2, variation 3, the one variation which makes the individual survive in condition 1 will be selected. Let's say variation 3 was fit for condition 1, then they will be selected. But that doesn't mean variation 1 and variation 2 will go extinct. They will be there because there are multiple variation that is stored in genetic information. If you will study in molecular genetics, we'll study that all the variations that we have achieved throughout our lifetime are actually there in the genetic structure. They have not actually vanished out of the theory. So if the conditions change again, then we can actually revert back to the different theories. So our gene, the DNA that we have, is a very large storehouse, and very interesting things are happening in that small little thing. Okay, so hope you understood that idea of evolutionary synthetic theory and how it actually functions out in the natural selection. We'll talk in detail about it in further chapters as well, but this is the basic idea. So the evolution that we study right now is amalgamation of different Darwinian as well as Mendelian principle, and that together forms the idea with respect to population genetics as well. So it has different components, which talks about microevolution that is happening in a small scale, that is adaptation, mutation, gene flow. Gene flow here refers to immigration, migration, emigration, and exchange of genes that happens over different population or patches. There is natural selection, there is genetic variation that happens, and then there is drift as well. So all of these combined together forms the modern synthetic theory and the components of evolution. So these all are factors of evolution. All of them together forms and structurize evolutionary ideas and theories. Right now, apart from that, all these changes accumulate over time, which leads to isolation of an individual group. And after isolation, if they attain reproductive isolation, then they form species, or they form species. Okay, so these changes are gradual, and if this accumulated change allow that species to be reproductive isolated, then they will form species, and that will result in speciation. Okay, so this is the basic idea of modern synthetic theory. It will be confusing for some of you, and if that is the case, then we should have a good discussion about it. Thank you.